My name is Joseph Orozco. I'm the station manager of KIDE Hoopa Tribal Radio in Northern California. Well, Hoopa, California, center of the world, as I call it. What we did here today was a working session of Native media, journalists, television people, radio, print, and we met with several people from foundations and with the representative of the governor, talking about the upcoming 2020 census and how we could be involved and how Native media can encourage our communities to be better involved this time around.
When we started off, Assemblyman James Ramos was there, took the time to meet with us and talk to us and share a song with us, which was very powerful in the sense of here's another California native that's actually here in this room and, treating us like equals, and even he said that too, that it was great to see all these Native representatives there in that room. And it wasn't just the Native voice, but it was also other ethnic minorities that were there representing. So it was a huge step, and it was kind of refreshing to see, especially in this day and age when you hear all this negativity and separation with the president and stuff like that. That you got this governor who's really trying to include everybody in this next census. So it was a great start. There's a huge learning curve that needs to happen because I think a lot of people don't understand how important this information is when it comes to getting dollars, because that's what it's really about, dollars and cents. And the more people that we have out that take part in the census will increase those numbers and hopefully increase our funding, or at least give us the ammunition, or the people that are advocating to increase funding to our communities, the ammunition to try to make that happen.
I believe it's important to be counted in the census just because funds have to be distributed and we have to have an accountability for that. We can't give millions and millions of dollars to an area or neighborhood that has 10 people there.
Getting educated as to how to best help the educational process of having the Native American culture and citizens involved, and to educate the citizens on the reservations as to the benefit that they would have becoming involved, and to neutralize some of the concerns that they have about exposing too much of their personal information. The community has been so colonized that there's a fear that that having a governmental agency would not necessarily be to their benefit, and it's something that actually I have a sympathy with, and I'm personally trying to fight that myself. And I believe that the input of the participants here are very sensitive to those issues.
There's no trust right now for the federal government at all, as far as a lot of people go. Then the other thing that you have to combat is you're going to have to combat people's apathy. What is the benefit? The BIA already has all our information. As soon as you're enrolled, they have your tribal enrollment number. What is the benefit of doing all of this?
I understand the distress, but also it affects a lot of our policies, from the federal programs, but I'm also thinking about the younger kids. The number of population that was undercounted were kids 0 to 5. And we have, Native youth are our largest population, in Indian country. So when you think about all the Head Start programs that we could have and be funded, that is something that the census could, affect right now. So it affects our policies. It affects, a lot of the money we get in tribal communities, but also there's the follow through and how can we follow through on those numbers and to ensure that, the communities get those resources that they need.
So if we can get that message back to our people and we can share that with them, they just may be better involved than the 13% that got involved in the 2010 census. So I'm looking forward to doing what I can to make that happen. Our goal is to do this for our children because the next census is going to come back up in 2030. So let's give them some more numbers that they can count on and just keep adding to our story. It's the only thing we have is our story.